Brie Garcia reveals Bryan Danielson's broken arm x-ray and says the injury is worse than we thought, leading to suggestions that Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, could be out of action and miss the upcoming All In show at London's Wembley Stadium later on in August. Details on that, plus Jungle Boy Jack Perry is now officially a heel in All Elite Wrestling, and he's going to receive a presentation change, hopefully moving forward very, very soon. We've got an update on the creative plans as we head to All Out at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, later on in September. The blind eliminator teams are going to be revealed tonight on AEW Dynamite Live on TBS. Speaking of Dynamite, MGF and Adam Cole segments have been announced for the show tonight on TBS too. And we have an update on the possible date for Dynamite and Rampage Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Bryan Danielson and his broken arm that he suffered in the main event of Forbidden Door against Kazuchika Okada. Now, while AEW New Japan Forbidden Door was largely seen as a successful endeavor for both companies on Sunday nights, there was some bad news at the end of the show, when Bryan Danielson revealed that he had suffered a broken arm during his match with Kazuchika Okada in the main event in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And while Danielson initially said the injury would only keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks, his wife, Brie Garcia, the former Brie Bella, is now suggesting he may be out of action for a little bit longer. On her Instagram story yesterday afternoon, Garcia posted an x-ray of Danielson's arm, showing a pretty significant break in the middle, which you can see on the screen right now. Quote, "Not sure whether to be proud or to chastise him for wrestling 10 more minutes with this break," Garcia said. "Definitely worse than we thought." Now, Garcia's post would seem to suggest that the original timeline given by Danielson for his recovery will likely take longer than the initially mentioned 6 to 8 weeks, calling his status into question regarding some of AEW's biggest shows this summer, of course, including AEW All In at Wembley Stadium in August and All Out in Chicago in early September. As of this recording, however, no firm recovery timetable has been given for the AEW star, so we'll have to wait and see. So the question I pose to you guys, and you can let me know as always in the comment section below, do you think Bryan Danielson will make it to All In at London's Wembley Stadium, or is this broken arm going to rule him out of arguably AEW's biggest or certainly most attended show in the company's history? Let me know your thoughts as always in the comment section below. Now, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, we don't know how long he's going to be Jungle Boy for. Certainly what we do know is that he is now a heel after turning on his tag team partner Hook at Forbidden Door this past Sunday in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Jack Perry's new heel turn, there are some big changes in store for him, and after working as a babyface in All Elite Wrestling for 4 years, Jungle Boy Jack Perry is seeing a change in persona. However, Fightful are being told that's not all, as his babyface friendly theme has been planned for a change as well. Sources familiar with the situation claim that a new theme has been set for Perry. In 2021, Tony Khan got the rights to Baltimore's Tarzan Boy to use for Jungle Boy's theme, which became a huge hit with the crowd and because a huge piece of audience participation for AEW. Prior to that, Jack Perry, along with Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt, used another theme, which actually ended up being covered on AEW Symphony Series 2. Now, Fightful do stress that they haven't learned specifically what the song is being used or when it's going to start. That could come later on this evening. We'll have to wait and see, but what theme would you like to see Jungle Boy use, and what did you think about his heel turn, and what are your thoughts about him being a bad guy moving forward in All Elite Wrestling? Can he pull that off? Will he reunite with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus? Let me know your thoughts as always in the comment section below. Now, we spoke about All In. Of course, a week later, we're going to be seeing AEW All Out. We've got a bit of an update as to the creative plans set in place by All Elite Wrestling prior to the show later on this year. A new update has emerged on AEW's potential creative planning for September 3rd's All Out pay-per-view from Chicago's United Center. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, AEW has tentative plans in place for, quote, some top angles to run through All Out. The report also mentioned that despite question marks around the status of All Out this year, the plan to hold the pay-per-view in the United Center has been on the schedule for several months. Despite All Out being a yearly Labor Day weekend tradition for AEW, the status of this year's event was much more uncertain due to the historic All In from Wembley Stadium happening just a week prior on August 27. This was quashed recently, however, as AEW not only announced All Out for September 3rd, but also a full week of Chicago-based content beforehand, which you can see on the screen right now, including AEW Dynamite and Rampage on Wednesday, August 30 at the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois, and of course, Collision taking place the night prior to All Out at the United Center, as well as the aforementioned pay-per-view taking place in the same building 24 hours after. The schedule leading up, as I mentioned, for the week leading up to All Out includes Dynamite and Rampage at the Now Arena on August 30 and Collision at the United Center on September 2nd. Of course, September 2nd is also the date for WWE Payback from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, meaning Collision will be taking place at the same time as that show, and All Out will be taking place just one day prior. So in a 7-day period, you're going to see All In, Payback, and All Out as well. So plenty going on in the world of professional wrestling in late August, early September this year. Now, let's steer forward to AEW Dynamite tonight, live on TBS, the fallout from AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. A week after naming AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole as the first team in the upcoming Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament, AEW will announce more random pairings on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. On last week's show, Tony Schiavone revealed MJF and Cole as the first team in the tournament, much to the dismay of the two rivals. As such, it's entirely possible that several other foes are forced to team up as part of the tournament, reminiscent of WCW's Lethal Lottery tournament in the early 1990s that created odd pairings such as Vader and Cactus Jack and Ricky Steamboat and Lord Steven Regal, who, much like MJF and Cole, were in rivalries at the time. To that end, fans on social media have floated the possibility of teams such as Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, or Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli, Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, and Ethan Page and Matt Hardy participating in the tournament, especially given their recent history and friend-turned-foes dynamic. While the rules of the tournament have yet to be disclosed, AEW has confirmed that the winners will receive a shot at FTR's World Tag Team Championships. It's also unknown if the winners of the qualifying bouts will advance to a match similar to the Battle Bowl Battle Royal, which was the final round of the aforementioned Lethal Lottery tournament that ran through the 1990s. Also, on tonight's episode of Dynamite, Jon Moxley will square off against Tomohiro Ishii, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara will wrestle Sting and Darby Allin in a Tornado Tag Team match, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will face Ruby Soho in an Owen Hart Foundation Cup Women's Tournament quarterfinal bout. Furthermore, as I mentioned, AEW has announced that Jungle Boy Jack Perry will address his actions at Forbidden Door, where he turned on Hook, his former tag team partner. Tonight's Fallout episode from Forbidden Door will emanate from the First Ontario Centre in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Now, speaking of MJF and Adam Cole, they both also have segments announced for tonight's broadcast on TBS. If the early days of summer have taught anyone anything, it's that AEW World Champion MGF and Adam Cole do not like each other. That makes it awkward then that the duo, who wrestled a time limit draw just 3 weeks ago, will be tag team partners in AEW's upcoming Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament, with the winning team, as I mentioned, getting a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. With more teams yet to be announced in the tournament and to be announced tonight, however, it at least gives time for Cole and MJF to try and get on the same page. And according to an announcement by AEW on Twitter, they'll attempt to do so tonight on Dynamite when fans will hear from both men. It's only been a week since the fans last saw Cole, and it at least confirms that the AEW star is in good health following a weekend when he reportedly fell ill prior to the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. As a result of the illness, he was unable to compete at the pay-per-view, where he was scheduled to take on former New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Filthy Tom Lawler in singles action. As for MJF, the world champion was seen at Forbidden Door, successfully defending his gold against New Japan Pro Wrestling legend Hiroshi Tanahashi. The victory kicks off a busier than usual week for MJF, who in addition to that match and his segment with Cole tonight, will be in action on Collision this Saturday night. His opponent, as of right now, is yet to be determined. Finally, an update on AEW Dynamite and Rampage Grand Slam. The date of this year's Grand Slam taping appears to have been revealed. As I mentioned, AEW has a very big summer lined up following AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door 2023. The company will soon begin the build towards AEW All In at the London Wembley Stadium show on August 27. Following this, on September 3rd, AEW will hold its annual All Out pay-per-view. Speaking of annual traditions, Andrew Zarian of the Mat Man podcast seems to have confirmed when AEW Grand Slam TV tapings will take place. Zarian took to Twitter with a photo of the setup for Dynamite Grand Slam with the caption, September 20th. Now, Tony Khan confirmed that AEW would indeed be returning to New York for Grand Slam 3 earlier this year, following the April 5th edition of Dynamite. Both the 2021 and 2022 iterations of the event emanated from Arthur Ashe Stadium, with live episodes of Dynamite taking place and Rampage episodes filmed after the live broadcast. The 2021 taping was especially significant, with this event currently holding the record for the most attended AEW show ever, with 20,177 fans in attendance. That record will be absolutely obliterated in August, with over 65,000 tickets already sold for All In, which will emanate from Wembley Stadium, as I mentioned, in London. So, Grand Slam, the date has been now revealed. But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.